once you realize then that you're like acting poorly or like ruining a relationship because you're just being a little, you know, just a salty little boy, then you get mad at yourself for that. It's just like a long psychological battle. But those are the only real struggles I've had, and just like getting in the way of myself. That's
Yeah.
it.
All right, you ready?
Ready?
Let's do it. Okay, camera's rolling. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 10 of the Young Minds podcast. I'm your host, Luke Aiden, and actually in the studio today we have a few people, some in real life and some on FaceTime. You'll see in a minute here, but in real life we actually have a co-host. This is like the first co-host I haven't really interviewed or had a guest, but like this is someone who's like actually gonna help the conversation, just kind of roll with our guest who is on FaceTime this episode. And co-host is Nathan Pystrip, everybody.
Hello.
I've mentioned him a few times. He's the guy who's kind of been running the cameras and everything, and I said why not just hop on a pod, and here we are.
Yes, sir.
So he has fancier headphones than I do, but you know it's fine. It's fine. So we're just gonna hop right into it. Don't know how long this episode is going to be, but for the last episode, you guys absolutely loved it with Luke Berkran, the whole crypto and everything he had to say about it, and it was amazing. So this intro is a little long for our guest, but I'm going to do the best I can. So we have Lucas Foster on FaceTime. He is 21 years old, and he currently lives in Telluride. And Lucas, he came from a humble upcoming and from his family and shares a passion for snowboarding. So Lucas is an insane rider. He's been in multiple World Cups, multiple pro tours, and he's in the World Snowboarding Tour, and he is on the US Snowboard team as well. So I'm gonna unmute him here, and we're gonna get right into it. So Lucas, what's up, dude?
What up, guys? How we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good. Just chilling right now.
Yeah.
Stoked to be chatting with you guys.
Yeah. Well, Thank you for getting on. I'm glad we could actually get a time to do this.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so you're currently in Telluride, correct?
Yeah, so that's where I'm from and still living there a little bit. Right now I'm actually in Mount Hood, Oregon. I just got up here the other day,
Sick.
getting back on snow and doing some snowboard stuff out here for a few weeks. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Is that out here?
Is that in Bend?
Yeah, it's right outside of Bend, so it's like 2 hours north, I think.
Gotcha.
Could be wrong in the direction, but yeah, it's close.
Nice, dude. Are you practicing out there, or are you just riding for fun with friends and family, or what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm out here doing a little bit of like some training stuff with the US Snowboard team, and then
Dope.
also just kind of getting some riding in with our friends though, and doing some filming stuff for some sponsors, and yeah,
Dope,
it's like
dude.
such a fun time to come out here and just ride for the summer. So
Yeah.
a little bit of everything.
Nice. So it's it's summertime. I'm assuming the snow is not the best. It's kind of slushy.
Yeah, it actually is too hot for the mountain to really operate right now. So the
Really?
last 2 days we haven't gotten to ride. Yeah, it was like 115 degrees.
Huh.
So, but I think tomorrow we're finally getting back on snow.
Heck
So
yeah, dude.
It's been a couple days of just burning hot.
Couple hot days.
But
So you said you were filming. You're filming for sponsorships, right?
yeah. So I'm like doing a little project with Monster and
Wow.
couple other things for like Solomon and just some like smaller stuff. But yeah, like just some short little film stuff or just some media they wanted to do. So
Gotcha. And kind of just drilling you with questions about those that you might not know, but are they for like YouTube, their Instagram clips, or is just kind of just athletes that they need in videos or for clothing, drinks, or whatever?
yeah, the Monster thing, that'll be for their YouTube and some social media stuff.
Dope.
That's kind of like this project that we're filming out here that probably come out in the fall.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. It's with this legendary pro that I've always looked up to, so I'm really excited. And
Wow.
and then the other stuff is kind of more just for like, I think it's just some like product shoots and filming some stuff for like just some social media. So nothing too crazy, but the Monster thing I think will be pretty cool.
That's sick.
That's
dude.
awesome.
How long have you been with Monster?
I've been on Monster for I think 3 or 4 years now, and
Wow.
Yeah, like I started out, they have a cool program called Monster Army where like, more grassroots level athletes can kind of like apply to ride for Monster. And
Yeah.
I actually got on that when I was pretty young.
Heck
But
yeah.
a couple years ago, after doing that for a few years, I ended up getting like a full deal from them, and I've been with them ever since. So those guys have really changed everything with my career. So
That
yeah,
is
but big
so sick. So
thanks.
sick.
Yeah,
So when it comes to sponsorships, I don't know a whole lot. I mean, I've been skiing since I was like 3, 4. But when it comes to sponsorships, do they pay you on the amount of stuff you post on social media, what you wear, or is it actually like a yearly salary thing, or how does sponsorships like that kind of work?
yeah, it's a good question. It's kind of different for every company and
Gotcha.
kind of depending on where you're at in your career. So like a lot of the energy drinks, it's like a mix of like you get a salary, you get some travel budget so that you can pay for your expenses because it's super expensive to, travel the world.
Yeah.
And then you get some bonuses if you do well in contests or if you like get a photo in a magazine or something. And then for me, a lot of the companies that I'm working with, it's not super social media based, but
Yeah.
I still try to give them a lot of love on social media just because I use social media and you know I want to give the love back to my sponsors
Who are helping you out?
organically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, like it really depends on the companies you ride for. There's some companies out there where it's all social media and it's like, you get paid X amount of dollars per post, but then there's
Yeah.
some companies that don't really care about your social media. No, I mean, they all care, but they don't
Yeah.
really have any like they're like, "Hey, we like what you're doing. We like what
I like
we're
how you
just going to
ride
pay
and
you to keep."
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "We're going to pay you to just for you to keep doing what you've been doing." So,
No, dude,
it's it,
that's so sick. I mean, I feel like nowadays it's like everything's kind of around based around social media and followers and likes and stuff that you kind of get when it comes to riding. I mean, it's I don't know. It's nice to hear that there's still genuine companies out there who are caring about their athletes.
yeah, totally. It's all about finding some balance, so they
Totally.
do a good job about it.
So when did you start riding?
Started snowboarding when I was 8 years old. So yeah, 2008,
Dang.
and yeah,
Okay. And
it's been a minute.
wow. So and it was in Telluride, right? You started in
Yeah,
Telluride?
yeah, born and raised in Telluride, so started out there.
Nice, dude. When was your first like competition that you were in? It's like
It was actually that year that I started snowboarding.
really.
So in snowboarding, we have these events called USASA, and
Yep.
it's like the grassroots series. And uh, the snowboard club that I was a part of, they just like sent out an email to parents,
Mhm.
like, "Hey, there's a little giant slalom contest this weekend that USASA is doing. If your kid's interested, let us know." And
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been like a hyper competitive person since I was a little kid,
Okay.
and so I was all about it. Even though I mean, I was like good enough to like ride down the mountain and stuff. But
Right.
yeah, that pretty much that first year I started riding, I did that giant slalom contest, and I was all about it. It was so
Dang.
fun.
Dude,
So
that's sick. That's really so it
yeah,
just
it
kind
was.
of slowly progressed from there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, I was doing USASA events for like good like 6, 7 years, and uh, yeah, it's been a cool journey ever since.
I bet, dude. I bet. So when did you get your first like sponsorship or deal or like what age were you when people like I don't know started noticing you?
Um, I think when I was like 13,
Wow.
I ended up getting on Solomon snowboards, and that was through the like rep in Colorado.
Okay.
So the shop that was hooking me up called Alternative Edge.
Mhm.
They sent in a little sponsor me video. Like I watched it the other day. It's the funniest thing ever. But
Was it a
they
little
sent it
cringy?
into the. It was just such a 13-year-old
Yeah.
thing to make, so it was funny. But
That's
they
funny.
sent that into the Solomon rep, and the Solomon rep was like, "Yeah, dude, like I'll put you on my little regional team," and started getting like free snowboards. And he was also the rep for Bonfire and Skull Candy, Celtec, and Stance Socks. So I kind of got hooked
Dang.
up
So
by all five of those companies, and so yeah, and that was cool. That was a big turning point for me, like getting just decked out because I couldn't afford tons of gear growing up. Like I was riding the same snowboard for years straight
yeah.
until that year, then I was like, all right, now I'm getting free stuff. Let's go.
That's pretty, no, that's sick, dude. So it's just snowboarding has kind of been your whole life since 13.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, it was my whole life ever since I started really, ever since I was born, because my dad was he still is a huge snowboarder.
Really?
My mom snowboards too, and like I just grew up with snowboards in the house. Like my dad, I would just do whatever my dad did growing up. And my
Yeah.
dad was a snowboarder. I wouldn't even be on skis yet, and I would be like in the living room copying him waxing. He'd be waxing his snowboard, and I would
Yeah.
like pretend to be waxing a snowboard too. So it's like snowboarding's been around since day one. I skied before I snowboarded, but yeah, it's been my life ever since. And the board sports have just really kind of resonated with me and kind of like who I am as a person, just because you can be so creative and there's no rules. In my
Yeah.
opinion, there's no rules. Some people might say different, but
Dang, dude. And so you said board sports. Now you're in. Have you been skating since that young, or have you kind of picked that up recently? I know you said you were skating with Ryan.
yeah, I've been skating probably longer than I've been snowboarding.
Wow.
It's a funny story. I like started skiing, tried snowboarding a few times and
Yeah.
sucked. But then one summer I started skating, and then that next winter I started snowboarding, and it was way easier because I had that summer skating.
Under your feet.
So skating, yeah, for sure. And like a lot of people kind of don't know this about me, but like skating's like more kind of me than snowboarding is, just the lifestyle and the culture.
Dang.
Yeah.
Like I skate more than I snowboard for sure. I mean, at least growing up.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of on snow more, but yeah, skating's huge for me, and like that's kind of been my other the other side of me, because I like grew up coaching skateboarding and kind of like helping run skateboard camps, and
Huh.
so yeah, that's been huge for me.
No, that's sick, dude. So did you did you go to college at all for snowboarding or everything? Or are you in college?
No, I'm not. I right after I graduated high school, I made the US Snowboard team, the rookie
Wow.
team. So kind of ever since then, I like pretty much just went all in with the snowboarding.
Yeah.
And luckily I was in a position where I was kind of able to, and I had good support. It's been a grind, but
Yeah.
you know, I really think my like calling is in kind of like trying to pursue athletic feats, at least
Yeah.
at this point in my life. So like the college stuff hasn't came around yet. I actually have taken some courses. Like I was studying real estate last summer and like did real
Nice.
estate school and stuff, kind of just like as a side thing, because my dad and I both were interested in it. And
Are you licensed?
I have to take the test this summer.
Nice.
I've been pretty
Yeah, that's
slow with it, but
Yeah.
but you know, yeah, I haven't done the college thing yet, and you know, there might come a day where where I'll have that necessity to
Yeah.
like go to college, but I also, you know, times are changing, and I may not really need that degree to kind of pursue what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean,
So
unless it's
just
an absolute
take it year by
necessity.
year.
Yeah.
Not at all. I think we're seeing every year that you know there's so much you can do that
No,
doesn't require college.
Exactly. Yeah.
I totally get. Nathan's kind of going down that same road. He's becoming a pilot, private pilot,
Yeah, I'm working on my private license right now. Yeah,
private
but-
license. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be like a corporate pilot though for like business
Yeah.
jets and stuff. So
No,
and I'm in the same boat. Like college. I mean, if you don't need college, get out of there.
It's-
You do not need to go like,
Yeah, it's
under
not
any
necessary.
circumstances.
Yeah, my biggest fear with college was more, I mean, it's not my fear, but I just saw a lot of my friends go to college and not really have any direction, and they kind of just wasted money just to go party.
Yeah.
And like, no disrespect to that at all, but for
Totally.
me, like, I really want to have direction in my life and have some sort of like
Goal, path, plan, something to go
goal.
to.
Yeah, because you know, I would have to drop a lot of money to go to college,
Yeah.
and that'd be a ton of money wasted if I just didn't get anything out of it.
Yeah,
You know, so.
Exactly.
No, I
But,
totally
yeah.
get that. Wow. No,
For
yeah, you're
sure.
right. Times are changing when it comes to education, and I, not to get deep or anything, I would definitely feel like the educational system needs to change a little bit. When
Yeah.
Oh, 100%,
Yeah.
man.
It's built off of
100%.
they definitely teach you that failure is bad. They
Yeah.
definitely teach you that failure is bad and do anything you can to not fail. And
Yeah.
I think that's a horrendous mindset. to go
failure is how you learn, is how you change things
Literally.
in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, failure is like such
Totally.
an underrated thing. Like it's such a good thing.
Yeah.
And,
No,
like,
it's
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
I mean, the best way to learn is you got to take that leap of faith, which is scary, but you know,
Mhm.
like once you take that leap of faith, it's like every time that I try like something new snowboarding, I'll take that first leap of faith, and the next step is revealed to me immediately.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with any career path you want to take. Like if you want to start that business, just take the first step, and the next step is going to reveal itself. And
Yeah.
you know, not to go deep either, but yeah, like there's really, like, life is your best classroom. You
No,
just
it
gotta
seriously-
do something
seriously
with it.
is. I mean, I've learned my best features and my best things that I could learn from, or from the worst things I failed at and the worst things that I
Totally.
can finally change at, or
Totally.
I've learned to change at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Little
Yep.
freeze
I got
there.
you still.
Oh, poor connection. All
broke
right.
up
Oh,
there.
we're
So
good.
no, thought we lost you there for a second. But
Yeah, you're good now.
going back real quick, that was a good talk. But going back to are you still on the US national team, or is it world team?
Yeah. So right now I'm on the US Snowboard team, like the national team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been on that for a couple of years, and
Is
this
that like
last year I
X
got,
Games? Like X Games stuff?
yes,
Dang.
yeah. So like, I don't know. It's like the US Snowboard team. It's the same people that are doing the Olympic stuff.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Team USA, but the US team kind of acts as like a support system for us, where they have the team, and it's like the people that they see being their potential Olympic athletes.
Yeah.
And they kind of support us on this contest circuit that we're on every year. So they're coming all over the world with us to the X Games and US Open and the World Cup tours and
Dang.
stuff, all
Yeah.
pretty much helping us get primed for the Olympic year and stuff. So yeah, those guys are great. They've really, ever since I got on that team, life has really just kind of like opened so many doors for me. So
Totally.
got a lot
Going
of
up a little bit,
of
yeah.
thanks to those guys. Yeah,
No, I bet, dude. Have you thought about going to the Olympics at all?
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah?
Like growing up in Telluride in 2014, I watched Gus Kenworthy get second, and he's a Telluride local.
Wow.
And he got a silver medal in slopestyle skiing, and
Wow.
watching him do that. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, I'm super competitive, so seeing how the town reacted to that got me so like
Just
in this state of like, I want to do that too.
Yeah.
So watching Gus do that really sparked this fire in me, and ever since then, like, it wasn't like I'm going to the Olympics, but it was like I want to be a pro snowboarder and be of some sort of significance where I can like, make kind of I want my craft to be able to like get people that stoked as I saw my town get. So ever since then, and like the Olympics definitely were something that I would always be down to do, but it was never like the only thing. But in the last couple of years, it just has become more realistic.
more of a
Every year,
dream you could actually pursue on and go to.
yeah, like when I was younger, it was like, oh, it'd be cool, but like in Telluride, we didn't have a half pipe, and here I am riding half pipe. So it was like I never thought I'd have the opportunity to even try to make this happen. But in the last few years, I've been kind of like on the come up, steady increase. So now
Nice.
I'm at this point going into the Olympic year. I'm like, yeah, like I think I could do it. Like I've made it this far.
You can
I know
actually
what
go
to
and
do.
do it. Well, dude,
Yeah.
that's sick. Gus Kenward, that's not I totally forgot. He's from Telluride. I totally forgot that.
Yeah, Colorado local.
Yeah. Have you met him?
Yeah, for sure. I've known Gus since I was pretty young, and
Really?
Dang.
I see him around all the time because he's still skiing. So
No,
it's cool to see him.
That's so sick. So if there's ever like a chance or something, do you see yourself going? I mean, I know you're on the national team and everything, but can you see yourself actually pursuing going to the Olympics anytime soon, or is it like on your plan at all, or?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean the Beijing Winter Olympics are coming up this winter.
Yeah.
And
This winter?
we've already
Yeah.
started. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Why?
So,
Why this winter?
Isn't it because this Olympics got pushed back one year?
Yeah, so the Winter Olympics, the date never changed. So this
Yeah.
is the 2022, February of
Oh, okay.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like
Um,
October, like
Yeah.
November
Yeah.
this year. Like, okay, that makes
nah,
sense next year.
yeah,
Yeah.
no
22.
worries.
Yeah.
But yeah, February of this coming winter, and yeah, for sure. I mean, the qualification process already started for us.
Wow.
That's sick,
This
dude.
past March was our first qualifier, and I did pretty good at the first event. So I'm kind of in like I'm on a good start.
Good, dude.
There's a couple more events left, and a lot can change. I mean, the U.S. team is really stacked. Everyone's super good, so
Yeah.
a lot can change. But I definitely that's like my focus right now is making the Olympic team, and
Heck yeah. That's insane just to chat with people and see like they're actually going to the Olympics because I don't know if you saw or anything, but I interviewed a gymnast a few episodes ago, and he was Yul Moldauer, and he actually just qualified, and he's going to Tokyo this summer as a gymnast.
yeah,
So
I saw that. I was gonna
yeah,
ask about that. That's super cool, dude.
and that was a hookup through Ryan again too. So Ryan's kind of hooked all of these guys up for me, and including you. But no, it's just crazy to see that he's going to Tokyo now that you're on the path and like you're not life goal, but or maybe, but like you're on the path to go do it. That's just I don't know. That's crazy to me. Just a little redhead in Littleton, Colorado, just kind of seeing this. I think that's kind of cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, the Olympics, especially for snowboarders, it's not everything.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the journey just starts at the Olympics. The whole end goal is to like have that same feeling that you kind of have watching your friend go to the Olympics from
Yeah.
Littleton. Having that feeling is how I want everyone to feel.
Yeah.
And because I was once that kid that was watching, Gus go to the Olympics and take home
Yeah.
a silver medal, and it's like the coolest feeling to just be inspired and have some sort of like
Totally.
spark lit in you. It's like that's what we need in this world is people getting inspired and excited to like go do something with this time given to them.
Yeah. Again, stoked to actually go do something that they find love in and something they kind of want to do.
Absolutely.
I totally get that. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna check cameras here really quick. All right. All right, sorry, back into it. I had to get another break. So you're on the national team. So you're saying you're doing projects for sponsorships and everything. Have you thought about, I don't know, starting your own, like doing a business endeavor at all? Like doing through snowboarding or doing, I don't know, starting your own little brand? I don't know. Have you ever thought about going on the business side of snowboarding at all?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the snowboard industry, I don't have the biggest passion for working in the industry.
Yeah.
I would prefer to not make my money off of snowboarding. I prefer to give more resources to snowboarders. Like snowboarding for me is like it's such a lifestyle that I think is so helpful for kids to experience, especially kids that come from like a broken family. Like that was big for me. Like
Yeah.
I come from a broken family, parents split up. It was a hard childhood at times, and snowboarding really did a lot for me. So my whole goal is like I want to get to the point where I'm able to like give kids the opportunity to snowboard, and like it'd be cool to help the snowboard industry kind of like expand into more markets
Yeah.
where it's actually accessible, because snowboarding, I mean, I don't know if you guys are huge skiers or snowboarders, but it's insanely expensive to go do this stuff. And
The
you know,
gear and everything, the passes, and just to get up there, yeah.
yeah, totally. So my whole dream is like just help make snowboarding more accessible. But the business stuff that I'd love to get into eventually, just kind of beyond my athletic careers, like it's always been my dream to use my influence that I hopefully will have,
Yeah.
and kind of expand and show bring new methods into athletics and into life on like how
Yeah.
we can achieve goals.
Completely.
Because
Dude.
I kind of came up doing achieving my goals in a very different way than a lot of my competitors.
Yeah.
And I realized I was like, hey, like I'm this kid from Telluride that kind of didn't have all these like I grew up snowboarding in a dope mountain, but I did not grow up with a half pipe. I didn't grow up with a coach. I didn't grow up with deep pockets at all.
Yeah.
I did not have the opportunity to travel around the world, but I did have some basic necessities that helped me kind of spark a whole adventure that got me to those resources eventually. So I want to just be able to, be cool someday to like kind of have more of a business in the service realm of like
Gotcha.
whether that's like showing people like certain fitness things that they can do to get their body right to achieve some goals in athletics, or some
Wow.
mental stuff that's gonna help them kind of get in a better zone so that they
Yeah.
can like find their dream. Like that's such an issue for young kids, is like, what am I going to do with my life? What is life all about?
Yeah.
What's success? How do we define success? How do we define excellence? It'd be cool to be like, hey, like this is what I've done. This is how I did it. And this is what you can do. This is what you can draw from my story.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like,
the whole
it'd be cool to do that. There's
the whole mental
yeah,
game
the
as
mental
well.
side.
Yeah, the whole yeah. I feel like you said it right. Kids younger kids in this generation struggle a little bit with it, and that's amazing that you've kind of found that niche or something there that you like, or service that you kind of want to go and do and start and just help people out. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, and like it'd be cool to write some books. I love writing.
Really?
It'd be cool to do that. It'd be cool to, I'm into speaking and kind of just like conversations with people and just kind of like what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
So, and I've always thought it'd be cool. A lot of people have like some mentors in my life have suggested like, hey, you should make like a simple course based on all these things. And I think that'd be cool too. But, at this point, I've thought about that a lot, but at this point I'm like, right now I'm in my, I don't know if you know who Carl Jung is, but like
I don't.
he's got he's a big psychological guy, like all in philosophy, but I'm in his archetype stuff that he talks about. I'm in my warrior phase where I'm out doing the things and like getting to the point where someday I'll get into that position where I'm able to like start teaching more and be more of like a mentor.
Got it.
So
you're still kind of
I
like
think that day
teaching or like learning yourself and kind of like
totally.
Yeah, your warrior phase.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I think it's a good word for it. Like us young kids, like you're 20, I'm 21. Like we're 100% in our warrior phase in life right now, where we're out putting in work. We're making mistakes. We're getting up. And we might do this for the rest of our lives. Who knows if we'll even get to the point where we're handing down knowledge? But there'll be that day that we'll be in that position, like sharing our knowledge with people.
I'd say
and people
now
will be
is
doing
definitely the best time to do it is now when you're this age. You get through all those failures and all that when you still can.
Exactly.
And it won't hurt your life as much.
No, like we've said before, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from failure.
Totally.
It's completely true. And being like a speaker or something, I can totally just talking for like 20 minutes here, I can totally see you being a speaker to like just kids and snowboarding, everything. You're very what's the word? Pronounce very well. I don't know.
Thanks.
You just you know what you're talking about. You know your stuff. So that's sick, dude. And that's kind of what I want to do with the podcast, or like here. And you said it earlier before camera started rolling, but no, I just wanted to have a place where I could find smaller people who are making a real difference and they're doing something with their life. And like you'll a few other people I've had on the podcast, I actually want to showcase that like these younger kids are actually in their warrior phase. They're actually doing something and they're actually going and doing it. So that's a great way to put it. No, that's sick, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I like what you guys are doing. It's good. It's so good for people, because there's so many kids like us out there that are kind of thinking like this, that maybe took a different path than our friends in school.
Yeah,
it's good for them to like see like, okay, there's other kids out there that are interested in starting businesses, or interested in like just or think more like entrepreneurs than they do as like normal 20-year-old kids. So
exactly.
Sometimes that's all you need, is to see another person doing it for you to just like not feel out of place.
Yeah, you need that one little push, kind of like you said.
For sure.
Totally. I was looking up other questions. Oh, so you're in Mount Hood right now. What are your plans for like the next upcoming year? What comps do you have going on? What other things are like on Lucas's schedule?
Yeah, that like we were talking about earlier, the Olympics coming up.
Right.
That's kind of like everything's kind of revolved around that.
Gotcha.
So it's like getting ready for the Olympics and getting ready to qualify, because like we all still have to qualify. So, you know, in October we'll go to Switzerland for like a month, just ride out there for
That's insane.
every day, and it's just all about getting ready for those contests. And then we go into a crazy contest schedule starting in December. So we'll have like a couple events up at Copper Mountain, the World Cup, the Dew Tour. We'll have another World Cup in Mammoth, and then another World Cup in Loch, Switzerland. Those 4 events, those are our Olympic qualifying events.
All 4.
So everything's just revolved around that.
Wow.
And
dude.
then, so then I think the X Games are right after the Lochs Open.
Gotcha. And are you going to be competing in X Games?
I hope so. They don't send the invites out till like December. I did 2 years ago. I did in 2020. So hopefully I'll be back again.
Gotcha.
I'm stoked.
No, dude, I want to see you up there. So wait, so just real quick, sorry. For X Games, they invite you? You can't like qualify or do anything. They personally invite the athletes?
Pretty much, yeah. Like they have a kind of a loose criteria, I think, how they invite people. So like they'll see how the people, you know, who's riding good at the beginning of the season at those first couple events. So I like the Copper World Cup. They'll look at the results from that and be like, oh, like, you know, this dude right here like killed it at this event. Let's invite him. So we'll see. Depends, you know, how I do at the beginning of the season, and then also at the end of this last season too. They'll look at some results off that, but it's kind of just like who's riding good, and like also it's a TV show, so like they want to invite riders that are going to bring an audience. So you know, there's some riders that maybe don't compete at all that'll get invited because it's like, oh, this dude is, you know, so and so. People are going to want to watch him.
They're going to want to see him. Yeah.
But yeah, so then right after that, it's the Olympics in February. So
now your schedule is kind of crazy already.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself getting nervous about these events, or do you consider it work, or do you just literally just exciting, just have the most fun you can?
I think you feel just about every emotion you could ever feel.
Totally.
All in one. So like there'll be times where I'm like driving, doing something random, like, you know, one day, and I'll get super nervous. I'm just like, holy crap, like what if I blow it at this event? Everything's over. Like, and then you come back, you know, you got to recognize when, you know, because we have 2 sides of our brain that's like thinking rationally and thinking like, you know, what the real deal is. There's times where you're thinking, like when you're thinking like panicking and freaking out, that's you thinking off of emotion and impulse.
Totally.
So I'm pretty good at recognizing like, oh dude, shut up. Nothing's going to end if you do bad at this event. And then that's always followed up. Those negative thoughts are always followed up with like, hey, like you deserve to be here. You're here for a reason.
Yeah.
This is no mistake. And there's no mistakes in life. I'm a big believer in that. I think every single experience builds us into that person that we're meant to be.
Totally agree.
So there's nothing that really can go wrong. Even if you eat crap and you break something, you're supposed to experience that because there's some lesson in that experience that's going to lead you to the next thing. So I don't find myself getting too nervous anymore, but there's times for sure. But it definitely gets crazy, you know, traveling all the time. And like, once you start like really getting on the grind of like just traveling and like having sponsors and like, you know, making money, it's like you get a little stressed out where you're like, holy crap, so much is happening.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that if you ever get like a little stressed out when everything, like a lot is happening, when you have a lot big companies and stuff like that contacting you.
It can be. I mean, for me, like I'm still pretty young in my career. Like I haven't gotten to that point where I'm getting like a bunch of deals offered to me at once. But like, definitely like when I first like started making some money, I was like, holy crap! Like now I'm kind of like able to pay like a bill with this check right here. Like I don't want to lose this. So you do get kind of like anxious sometimes. But it's like you just like you recognize, dude, you're blessed to be living this life. You know what got you here. Like clearly you deserve this because you've put in the work. Like there's no mistakes. So keep doing what you've been doing. Everything's gonna be fine. So, but it can get hectic.
I
but
bet.
you know.
No, wow. So you have a very, just a very, oh, what's the word? Um, not insightful.
Very
but,
self-aware.
yeah, thank you. Very self-aware perspective on life. Thank you.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah, and I really think that's like the most important thing in life is if you're self-aware and you're able to really like view your life from an outside perspective. If you're able to switch, your lens yourself and be
Yeah.
like, pretend like you're watching your life from a bird's eye view, you have such an upper hand on, if you're a competitor like in a contest or something, that's a huge upper hand that you have on people if you're able to like recognize your behaviors, recognize your motivations. Like so many people have like such weird behaviors and they don't know where those behaviors stem from. So it's like self-awareness is something you got to practice all the time because if you're not self-aware, you're just going to be a leaf blown in the wind and you never know what's next.
Self-awareness is the
And life's
key
just
to
gonna be
moving
hitting you.
that needle in your life.
Yeah.
Key to moving that needle.
Exactly.
Self-awareness.
Yeah,
That's a great way
absolutely.
to put it. No,
Yeah.
totally. Have
I
you
like that.
have you ever experienced any difficulties or struggles when being a pro athlete?
For sure, yeah. I mean, when I was like coming up, and I mean, I'm still coming up, but when I was
Yeah.
pretty young in my career, like I struggle all the time, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like life is wild, and I'm always kind of in like a not always, but like I still battle with myself psychologically, and I think the biggest struggle I've had is just me getting in the way of myself
Yeah.
and really learning how to like silence those negative thoughts in your mind that's what's changed everything for me. And like people say that a lot and like think that it's just like a small thing of like, oh, like block out the negativity, but like life really sucks sometimes when you have that negative voice in your mind that's like stressing you out. Like when I was younger, I was never like looked at as the dude that's gonna like make it.
And go big. And
I was
do it.
always an underdog, and that really, really messed with me.
Really?
And sometimes those behaviors, like when you start feeling that, you start behaving kind of like an underdog, and you get this
Exactly,
like
yeah.
chip on your shoulder, and you get all like worked up, and you start behaving weird. And I still deal with that sometimes, and it's really hard because then you realize you're like, oh my god, I'm acting like a total, dumbass right now. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that on this, but
Totally fine. Go for it.
yeah, but once you realize then that you're like acting poorly or like ruining a relationship because you're just being a little, just a salty little boy, then you get mad at yourself for that. It's just like a long psychological battle. But those are the only real struggles I've had, and just like getting in the way of myself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dude, okay, so it's just for you. It sounds like more of kind of just like a mental battle at times.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. A mental battle and just like a battle of getting to like before skating and snowboarding, man, I was like an insecure little kid. Like I'm the smallest kid in my friend group. I'm only like 5'5", and like I always struggled with like getting my confidence up when I was younger.
Yeah.
And so now it's like maintaining that is like, I wouldn't say that's a struggle anymore. I'm at a point now where I'm pretty cool with myself, but there's times where you're
That's
not. There's
great.
times where you're pissed. There's times where you're pissed at yourself. It's never going to stop. So,
Yeah.
it's just growing up. That was hard for sure though. When I was like 13, 14, just being a follower, that wasn't good
the
for me
follower.
either.
Definitely sucks, yeah.
I-
At an impressionable age like that, like when you're being told that you're an underdog, like that can really mess with you. A lot of people, like some people, once they like grow up past like 25, they like being called an underdog. They consider that an advantage to be called an underdog.
An incentive to go do something better.
Exactly, yeah. And
Dude,
when you're that young, it doesn't work like that. Like what's
No.
the point in telling someone that
No.
they're an underdog? Like I don't know.
No,
Totally.
I've gotten made fun of a few times when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you've been there.
Yeah.
You've known a few times, but no, I definitely feel like you said it was an impressionable 13, 14, 15 kind of age is definitely an impressionable age for people because they think they need to be with the it crowd. They need to fit in with like what they're doing, and that's just really not where you need to be. You just gotta kind of be you. I know it's cliche and basic to say.
Yeah,
But,
and again, circling back to the self-awareness thing, like once you become self-aware, all of that goes out the window. Like all of that goes out the window once you know who you are.
Exactly.
Once you know who you are, like you don't need to impress anyone.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to
Exactly.
like prove yourself to anyone. Prove yourself to yourself. Like make it happen.
Yeah. Be who you kind of want to be.
Totally.
exactly
And
where
that's
you want
such
to
a
be.
hard thing. It's so hard to tell a kid that these days too, because like they're like, I don't know what I want to be. And sometimes like I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I know for me there were times where I didn't know what I wanted to be, and that's where I grew the most. Is when I
Yeah.
was sitting in the face of uncertainty and not knowing what's next. That's where I always grew the most, because I was
I
forced
bet.
into this position of just being uncomfortable. Like it's really scary when you don't know like where your next like like I don't know what a good example would be. Like it's really scary not knowing what's next for you in life. Say you get knocked off your horse and you're like
Yep.
you don't know what to do next. It's scary to do that. Everyone wants to feel comfortable in like, oh, I found my path or I found my thing.
Yeah.
But what if life is meant to be a mix of five different things, five different career paths, or five different experiences that lead you all to this one person that you end up as a result. So it's like maybe you don't know what you want to do, and you're gonna have to just live life and experience things and try things. Just like trying, tasting food. You're never gonna know what food you like till you actually like try some Mexican food or you try some
Exactly.
sushi. And
That's a great way to kind of put life a little bit. You never know what you're gonna like unless you taste it, basically.
yeah, and you gotta the self-awareness is you tasting your experiences. Like
Exactly.
you gotta be self-aware before you try things, or else you're not gonna have any taste buds. So
Yeah.
like make sure you got them taste buds.
Make sure you got them taste buds. We're gonna check cameras really quick one more time. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, but that's
Nah.
a great analogy.
Yeah, I just thought of that. That's a good one.
No, that's it. No, I've never heard someone use that before.
Yeah.
What?
Do you get it? Are you sure?
That's good.
Okay.
I promise.
So mental games have been tough for you, and I feel like for every athlete it would be tough because they're pushing themselves to the absolute max in what they can see themselves being and what they want to be. Have you ever reached a point where you've, I don't know, pushed yourself a little too much?
Oh yeah, totally, man. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was gonna say like I got so addicted to feeling like an underdog that finally when I started like killing it,
Yeah.
I was still addicted to being in that position of like being, this kid that no one knows about.
Yeah.
And I still behaved like a 16-year-old that had never gotten his chance. So I was still throwing myself around.
Yeah.
Like I was still like throwing tricks that I probably shouldn't have been trying, or just like having poor judgment, or like just kind of behaving like a kid that thought that he hadn't gotten his chance yet, when in
Yeah.
reality I had all these people in my corner that were supportive of me, that were like down to rock with me for the long haul. So that's when I pushed myself too hard. And like every time that happened, something would happen to me where there's like I took a big slam, or like someone would have a good sit down chat with me, and like
Yeah.
every time that you're acting out of line, life will always signal in some way
Kind of
that
put you
you
back
are.
into it a
So
little bit.
Humble you.
yeah, and yeah, like you totally gotta be able to disconnect from all those things, or else you're gonna push yourself too hard. And
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff, like a big part of why I'm here now is because of all the mentors that I've had that were kind of in the fitness and wellness world.
Gotcha.
And this guy named Paul Check, who's kind of like the guy that taught my trainer and my mentor everything.
Yeah.
He talks all about working in life, because we're all used to working out. So working out in the
Yep.
gym, working out, putting our energy out into the world, not working in is all about taking energy in. And you can think of that in a physical perspective, where you're doing exercises that bring your body energy, but you also got to do that for your mind, where you're
Right.
taking time to rejuvenate yourself. You're taking time to
Kind of find who
just
you are a little bit.
find who you are, and just like kind of heal old wounds that like affected you. And like you got to work in, you got to go in. That's really the bottom line, is you got to be able to go into your mind and explore it and face it. And that really helps you not burn out.
Dude, wow. So you really kind of put yourself in a position, or really invest yourself in researching psychological things, and you've taken a lot of gain to mentors, and you've kind of done everything, not done everything, but like really done what they've kind of said. And when it comes to that, It's kind
For
of what it
sure.
sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, I had I got you.
Yep.
Cool.
There
Sorry,
you
you
go.
cut out for a sec.
No, you're good.
No, no, I had one mentor in my life that really sticks out a lot, named Jason Cannon, and that's the guy I was telling you about that learned from Paul Chek.
Gotcha.
And Jason really, he's the biggest reason why I'm here right now, because he really gave me he gave me direction. He's like, hey, dude, like, I understand your situation. You want to achieve these goals. You don't have all the resources, but you do have this. You have your mind, and you have tools that you can access within your mind and your body to get you ready for when you get those resources, because there will come a day where you get your chance. Are you going to be prepared for it?
Yeah.
So he was super influential in my life. He still is. Like, that dude, I still am hiring him to train me all the time. And but yeah, like, I got tons of mentors and just a lot of people that I learn about and from.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I've learned throughout life is, like, with mentors especially, is if you have a dogmatic approach with mentors of, like, you know, like, there's mentors that I've had where I've learned one valuable thing from them, and there was 9 other things that just were not valuable at all, and I left all the unvaluable stuff behind and took that one valuable thing.
That could change your life.
So there's a lot of people out there that are dogmatic. Like, I have friends all the time that are like, oh, like, I'll be listening to a podcast, and some people will think that, like, this guy's weird or that guy's weird. I'm like, yeah, he is really weird, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to, whatever, like, when it comes to philosophy in life, or when it comes to mental fitness. And if you move through life like, oh, if I read this guy's book, I'm going to be a weirdo and I'm learning from a weirdo, like, you're not going to go anywhere. You got to be able to, like, set all the BS behind and take the value from each teacher. So
exactly,
that's how to do mentors right. You're never going to find a mentor that's, like, perfect.
No, because they're learning too. They're trying to find value in their life and their values as well. So they're still going on their journey as well. Huh.
Exactly.
Dude, wow. So you're right. You're on the track to be a mentor. You were right there to be a mentor for kids. I'm loving it. Love listening to you. I mean, this is the first time we've really chatted, and I'm just a little bit mind blown. Not gonna lie, dude.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
That means a lot.
So you said you want to do a service and everything when it comes to, like, athletes and everything, helping kids start up, do get into snowboarding, and the whole, like, mental mind piece behind when it comes to, like, athleticism and doing sports. Is there any other business endeavors that you would go to outside of athletics?
For sure. I'm really into, like, learning how to make money work for me.
Yeah.
And because I'm super. Yeah, like, I think my calling in life is more, it sounds kind of out there, but, like, I have a big spiritual calling, and I want to, like, of expand my mind beyond all these things, like careers and material things. I'm really into just, like, how our minds work and what's beyond all this around us that we think is important but really isn't. So I want to get to the point where I'm able to, like, be financially stable enough to really explore my body and my mind and what it's capable of.
Gotcha.
And I think athletics is more just my, like, kind of just my outlet for that. But I'm really, like, that's why I was doing that real estate thing, because I'm really into, like, learning about how to, like, capitalize on your investments, capitalize on money, and just learn how to make money work for you. So there's so many ways you can do that. I mean,
totally.
Real estate. I think real estate's the biggest one, because no matter what happens, people are going to need a place to live.
Yeah, and you're not going to lose money when it comes to it, because the market will always kind of go up.
Totally, yeah, but maybe. I'm super in. I mean, Jason Cannon, the dude I was talking about, he's super big because he's an entrepreneur himself. He is a holistic health practitioner. He owns his own business, and he's super into the online coaching stuff.
Gotcha.
And so I'm super I'm around that all the time. He's always sending me books, always sending me courses on, like, how to start up your own courses, how to market things better, like, stuff on, like, ClickFunnels, like, all the different ways to just get your business or your service out there more. Yeah. And I think that's really, like, all the marketing stuff, all the sales stuff, it's all working towards you achieving that goal of like getting your service out there, getting your product out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally.
that's
Oh, I think we lost you. Oh, there you are.
Come
Yeah, no,
back.
that's
I got you.
There we go.
that's the biggest thing when it comes to businesses. Basically, marketing yourself, marketing to the audience that you want to listen to you. Basically.
Yeah, totally. And you gotta be able to provide value. It's like
Yeah.
no matter how great you are in marketing, no matter there's so many people out there that have like the best social media, the best this,
Yep.
the best that, but if their product isn't drawing people in, if you're not paying for a product and getting some value out of it, no one's gonna be coming back to you.
No,
you
and
know?
you're not gonna make a passive income. You're not gonna make a money or make a money.
Make a money. Yeah.
Make a money. Make money when it comes to it.
Yeah, totally. And that's something that I'd be really stoked to do someday is like have some sort of course where it's like a monthly thing where it is passive income, where it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like, it's $497 a month to be in this course. You get X, Y, and Z, and you have X amount of members. That's like there's a lot of like fitness courses out there like that.
Yeah.
I don't think mine would just be that cookie cutter. It'd be more stuff than that. But
Yeah.
I think that's a really good path, and I think everything's really going online these days. Like you could
totally agree with you.
I think it's good to have, like a couple workshops each year. Like if you're a speaker, like, you have a big retreat for your clients or something where it's
Yep.
like, all right, like, $1,000 like for a 4-day weekend and, Cabo, like, we're going to have a big, I've been to some like entrepreneur conferences
Yeah.
and spoken at a couple with one of my friends. And
Wow.
and yeah, it's like you get to like have a couple of those like retreats each year where like entrepreneurs get together and they
Yeah.
have their business plans and share some value. Like that stuff's cool, but I think online is everything. Like at those entrepreneurship conferences, they would just have their presentation and then at the end it'd be like, yep, and if you want to learn more, here's my course. And,
Go online to learn more, and yeah, even though you went there to learn more, you have to go online and buy more. Yeah. No, I totally agree. Online's the way to go when it comes to money, getting out there, content, creating. It's just I don't know. It's just the whole business these days, the whole creating business, everything. It's completely changing on how it's operating and working. It really is.
Totally, and it's crazy because you got to really make your move right now. Because I remember like 3 or 4 years ago, there were certain businesses that were like YouTube, for example, man. Like if you were in the vlogging business 10 years ago, you got in at the right time.
Totally.
If you're trying to be a vlogger right now, it's like you got to
Good
really,
luck.
you got to work hard. So it's like, it's kind of putting the pressure on entrepreneurs to make their product happen because if you wait too long, in 1 year, there's going to be a super saturated market, for like fitness, like online fitness courses, for example. There's like 300 million of those out there probably. Like if you're trying to get into that, yeah, you got to know your market and you got to execute ASAP.
And you got to get
but
into
execute
it.
smart too.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to rush your product. You don't want to rush what you're doing. You want it to be something you're proud of to giving out to people.
Yeah, totally. And it's a mix of like be proud, but also take the leap of faith, even if you're not fully prepared yet. Like I know people that are getting into like online coaching and stuff. They are like too worried about it being perfect, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna miss your window. You better make it happen, or someone's gonna steal your thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've learned from actually YouTube vloggers is one thing is if you don't jump on it immediately when you have an idea, someone else will take it. Someone else will have the idea and go for it completely.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, man.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Been going how long? 55 minutes. Doesn't feel like that at all.
I know. Time flies.
It does. Time flies when you're having fun. I think one thing to kind of slowly wrap this up here is I asked this on all my episodes, on the entire show is what's one bright idea that you could say to me and Nathan and everybody listening and watching, one bright idea that one valuable thing that you said that you can take away with, that people can take away.
Like one valuable thing that you could take away. Do the work that's in front of you. That's a big thing that I've been kind of living my life by in the last year is, life, if you really look at it from an outside view, it's always going to be kind of revealing things to you slowly. and sometimes fast too, but like so many people get stuck because they look at their situation that they're unhappy with and they get mad because it's the situation is like stuck in this one point that's just like negative, where they're like, oh, like my business isn't doing good, this sucks, I'm out.
Yeah.
But if you do the work that's in front of you, you know, the work in that scenario would be like, all right, well, why does your business suck? That opens up a whole nother thing for you to do that next day of like, okay, well, this sucks about my business. That sucks. I need to fix these things. Boom. You just did the work that's in front of you. Now you get the next step revealed to you. If you really live life based off of that simple idea of doing the work that's in front of you, you're never going to get lost, and you're also never going to move backwards, you know?
Yeah.
You're always going to learn from it. Just keep going no matter what changes or what happens.
Yeah, you know, you got to look at – sometimes you got to live your life kind of like a traditional, you know, working man would or working woman, where, like, you know, you have a simple job of, like, you know, in the 1800s, like carry water and chop wood. You do your work every day like a traditional, you know, pilgrim would.
Yeah.
The next, I mean, we're not traditional pilgrims. We got technology. I'm talking to you through FaceTime right now. We're not living in that realm, but have the same principles, the same mindset of like, okay, I'm going to get up and do my work every day, no matter how crappy it is, no matter if it's great or if it's terrible. I'm going to do the work in front of me, and I'm going to get on to the next thing.
That's
great mindset.
Great advice. Great mindset.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm sure I can maybe think of a better thing, but that's the quickest one that, like, I could definitely, that brings value to me.
That
was a good one.
That's a very impactful one. That is great, dude. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up here, but it was amazing to talk to you. I'll definitely be texting you if you don't mind.
Of course, dude. Keep in touch.
We'll do.
That was
and
awesome.
Yeah, dude. Thank you again, and I'll chat with you soon, dude.
For sure, guys.
Awesome.
Right on.
Thank you, Lucas.
All right, see you, man.
For sure. See ya.
Peace out. Well, he was dope.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I was not expecting that at all. To be honest. I never met him once. So that was no.
He was through Ryan, you said?
Yeah, he was through Ryan. I never met him.
Ryan's got all the hookups for this.
He
podcast.
does have the hookups, and I don't know how or why or how he did that. But anyway, we are going to wrap this up here. Lucas, you were amazing. Thank you again for absolutely everything. That was kind of mind-blowing. I didn't know you were that motivational, to be honest with you. But I forgot to ask where you find it. You can just find him. Look him up on Instagram, Lucas Foster. A lot of snowboarding videos. You'll know you found the right guy when there's a lot of snowboarding clips. But great dude, great guy, and thank you again, Nathan. You got any last words? Anything?
No,
No,
man. Let's wrap it up.
No, wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed Nathan being on here. It's kind of fun to have somebody else, but
Totally.
don't forget, if you would please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Follow us on Instagram. I post a lot of fun clips on there from the podcast and everything. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.